wonderful world of Generation X. Welcome to the wonderful world of Gen X. Every Sunday night around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we go live and discuss all things Generation X, talking about the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the generations we grew, the decades we grew up in as kids. And more than just talking about the decades that we grew up in as kids, the way it created the people we are today and the way that we look at the world we live in. Sometimes wishing the world we lived in today was a little different, a little bit more like the world we grew up in, sometimes appreciating the stuff we've got. Kevin, hello. Doreen, hello. Hey, what's going on, Travin? Good to see you. I seem to have misplaced my sanity again. Dude, misplacing it again would presume that at one point you knew where it was, and not sure that's the case. I see Buffalo's in the house. Dude, coming in for the Bills game on October 5th. That's first Sunday in October against New England. I will be in Buffalo. We are planning a massive tailgating party. So if you can make the Bills game, great. If not, we're going to have a 90s era pub crawl where we kind of just hit the bars that we hit when we were in our 20s, talking about the bars that we used to call no names, the bars we'll visit that aren't there anymore, Brick Bar and the Pink Flamingo, which sounds a lot gayer than it was. The Pink was neither gay nor straight. It was you'd have to be in Buffalo to know what the Pink was. But stay tuned to my page. But if you can, keep an eye out because we've got some cool stuff coming for that. Lieben, hello. Joan, hello. Tracy, hello. David Cox, I see you, brother. Having a hard time reading comments over on YouTube. Hey, all you... I can't see it. What's going on, Doreen? How are you today? Sophia, hello. Laura, how are you? Good to see you, Con. Hope Quinn's with you. Hope all is good. Brenda, hello. Would love to visit Buffalo. It's been over 30 years since I've been there. Dude, that's the whole point. We made this an annual trip. We went back to Buffalo last year with the idea being revisit ourselves. Go back. I think a lot of people go back where they grew up. They still have family there, or they may still have family there, an old house they want to see. The concept of going back to where you lived in your 20s, when you were no longer directly tied to your nuclear family, right? But you hadn't yet created your own family. That time when our friends were our family and responsibilities, we were just responsible for ourselves. That was cool. Going out to the job sites I had in my 20s, going back to the University of Buffalo where I went to school, going back to Jim Kelly's Sports City Grill on Main Place Mall, the place on Elmo that my brother used to own, going back to the bars we drank in, the restaurants we ate in. It was so cool. Sophia says, I'm still in the same place I was in my 20s. I got you, Sophia, but do you still visit the restaurants, the diners that you ate in at 3 o'clock in the morning after being out all night, the bars you drank in at the time? Have you visited your college apartment or that apartment you had in the 20s, the neighborhood? That's kind of what I mean. What's going on? I see St. Louis in the house. Hello, Pamela. What's going on? Ice. Linda, how are you? Live stream is available on my phone's YouTube, but not on my TV. Can't cast it. I wish I knew why. Those places are all closed now, Trav. And you know what's amazing is for me, they weren't. I thought they were. I thought they would be. I was shocked to find so many places that I used to hang out in my 20s are still there. Some of them haven't really changed. And what was amazing through the entire process is I realized 30 years later, I in the best way possible, I haven't changed that much either. It was shocking to me. It was very, very cool experience. Dude, what's up, brother, man? Love your stuff. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Glad you said that. Glad you appreciate the stuff. I'm having a blast putting it out there. What's going on, Goonie? Good to see you, Andrew. Joan says, can't wait to hang. Move back to North Collins where I grew up. Very cool. Kevin coming in, $2. Okay, so YouTube's goal for today is massive. We're looking at $1.12. I wish that was $1.12. They're feeling somehow we can get $112 out of this live. Now, the way we get there are 70 people in here, 69 at the moment, $2 a piece. You guys do the math. It gets us there. So what we ask for to help fund all the stuff that we do. It's a friendly little joke. If we get to the bonus level that they provide, great. If we don't, who cares? But the idea is I want my $2. It's that old joke from Better Off Dead. And every week we seem to make it. So if we make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. But YouTube loves it when I talk about it, and it pushes it out to more people. Let's see, 78 likes, or 78 people, and you're watching, only 16 likes. You're right, Linda. Why? What am I doing wrong? At any rate. Sir Richard coming in from East Tennessee. Kim loves the shirt, War Games. One of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. And another way to support the page. We do have a merch. Travin, give it some time, my friend. Give people a chance to get in there. We don't have to get there all in one. Miles and Brano, $2. One of my favorite movies. I wear it. We talk about it. Really symbolic of the way we grew up. We grew up in the shadow of the Cold War. All of us. Younger boomers, maybe older millennials to an extent. But for the most part, that Cold War era was our childhood. I remember I was in 5th grade in 1980, and the fear was real that Reagan coming into office was going to lead us into World War III, right? He was the cowboy. Stacy coming in with $2. Thank you. There was all that fear, and I'm not speaking politically. Whether you loved Reagan or didn't, that's irrelevant. But we grew up in that place as kids, watching The Day After on television, mushroom clouds and kids disintegrating on playgrounds, diving under our desks as if that would do anything. This was that. Pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the message. I enjoyed that, it told us maybe the only way to win is not to play. And I think that's not going to get political. I think it's symbolic of the world we live in today. I think the only way we win is to come together and decide that, you know what, we're not going to play. We're going to maybe play a game of chess, but this I hate half the world thing, we're not going to play that game anymore. Another $2 coming in on YouTube. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Just got the Facebook note. Good, the notifications seem to be working. Carter was the fun president. Reagan brought Reaganomics. Again, people can say good things and bad things about any politician, depending up on your personal point of view, right? Your life experience. I always say, if I disagree with you, there's only one reason why I would disagree with anyone in this room, and that's because I lived my life, not yours. Sophia coming in with $1.99. My late husband's favorite movie. That's awesome. Yeah, I lived my life. So the things that I experienced, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that have helped form my opinions. If I had lived your life, and that's why they say walk a mile in someone else's shoes. If I grew up the way you grow up, if I lived your life, I'd feel as you do, but I didn't. I live mine, not yours. Dustin and Travin coming in for $2. They're also covering 4 others. Guys, I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Travin. Love you guys. We just need to remember that. That's a very Gen X thing, to give people grace and say, you do you, I'll do me, and we'll meet where we meet, disagree where we disagree, and just call it a day. Kathy coming in from Canada. Tina, how are you? Favorite thing about my page is that it's not political, and it never will be. I just don't see the value in it. I will talk politics in the sense that it forms a framework. I've got a Chauncey, thank you so much for $2. Love your content. Appreciate you. I've got a Reagan Bush 84 shirt, but it's nostalgia. I've got a Clinton Gore 92 shirt. Also, nostalgia. Big part of the way we grew up. A big part of our life. 8 years of Ronald Reagan from thank you for the 99 stars. Appreciate you so much. Think about it. 8 years of Ronald Reagan. That was from the time I was 10 to the time I was 18. Love him, hate him, don't care about him. None of that matters. What matters is from 10 to 18, those were hugely formative years in my existence. And so there's nostalgia around Reagan. There's stories that I'll share. Him getting shot when I was in 5th grade. Huge memory for me. And likewise, the Clinton Gore years. Dude. There's a lot of nostalgia there, too. I have a Spiro Agnew watch. Dude, can I tell you, being a Greek American and having the two main political people that are Greek come into play are Spiro Agnew, a convicted what he dodged taxes or something? I don't know. Had to get out of the vice presidency, major failure. And then number two, Michael Dukakis, love him or hate him, the guy was sitting backwards in a tank. That just was embarrassing. Rich O'Brien remembers tear down that wall. See, that's what I love. That's the stuff we can all talk about. Not what we thought about the politics. Not who we. I love you, Sheila. Thank you. Not who we love or who we hate. None of that. But what we remember. So, when it comes to celebs that I'm going to be seeing while on the road, remember that it's about who we remember and how they made us feel as kids and what we live, not what they represent today. What else is going on in the world? Who's the oldest Gen X on the Facebook side? Well, we got someone from August 65. That's got to be in there. Got some young ones over there. Juan is at 79. One of the youngest Gen Xers there. Just the Jim of all trades. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's cool. The other thing that I wanted to touch on, from Massachusetts, absolutely, is just with our kids. A lot of schools now are banning phones in the classroom and in the school itself. So like my 13-year-old, I don't know how many of you guys still have kids in school. My 13-year-old now can take her phone to school, but it's got to be powered down and put away the entire day. It's in her book bag, out of touch, out of reach. And I honestly thought all Gen Xers would kind of be on board with that sort of thing. We weren't accessible to our parents 24/7. Our parents weren't accessible to us 24/7. And I think we think that's a good thing. Marie Clayton, haven't seen you in a while. Thank you. But some of my friends that I see online are posting things like, if I want my kid to have her phone in school and have it on so that I can reach her, I expect that to be allowed. What's going on, Randy? Good to see you. Gen X Latchkey Originals. I agree with the ban. I get that the world we live in is scary. I get all of that. Believe me, I have a 13-year-old. There are days when really intrusive thoughts get in my head as I'm dropping her off at school, and these horrible things enter in my head, and I want to go back 10 minutes later and pick her up. But I know I can't. But I don't know. I think it's better to get them out these. I think these phones represent a clear and present danger to them, and to take it away from them at least during the school day, I think it's a good thing. Gen X parents are helicopter parents, which are the worst. AF says, enjoy the content. Remember the 70s and 80s, best times of my life. Dude, thank you for the support. I appreciate that. I just think we need to let go a little. In one sense, right? On one hand, we need to be on top of where our kids are. We are the ones that are the first generation of parents to give our kids a voice. And some people call that helicopter parenting. I get it. To take it to an extreme, it would be. But we gave our kids a voice. We allowed them feelings. We allowed them to talk to us, which a lot of us didn't get growing up. So we have to know where our kids are, give them the help they need when they need it. But the other thing is, force them to put the phones down. Mark says, finally, no phones in school. Teach the kids to communicate face to face. I will tell you, for those that are on the fence or don't know how you feel, my 13-year-old is describing a different cafeteria. She goes, it's funny, we get in trouble now because we're too loud. And if you guys remember cafeterias when we were growing up, cafeterias were loud places. Think back as you're sitting there and put your tray down with your Friday square pizza, with your portion of government cheese, with your brown bag with the lunch in it, with your Tupperware lunchbox, with a thermos full of hot soup, whatever it was. Cafeteria was loud. Everyone was talking. Everyone was at the tables. Cafeterias, if you visit them in the last couple of years, kids pull out their phones, and at best, they're sharing content. They're quietly looking at, it's eerily quiet, or at least it was. Now my daughter's saying, man, it's loud. She goes, the cafeterias never used to be that loud. And I'm like, and she thinks it's cool. So if we can give them even back that little piece of how we grew up, I say put a payphone in the cafeteria. If they need to get a hold of us, they can drop a quarter in it or call us collect, and we'll figure it out. David says, aren't landlines making a comeback? I think maybe they should. There are internet landlines that cost next to nothing that have. I'll tell you what, as a father of a 13-year-old daughter, if a boy's going to call her, I want him to go through me. Wirehead coming in $2. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I want that phone to ring in the house. I want to pick it up and see who's calling my daughter. Does he know how to talk to me? Does he know how to introduce himself? Remember, we had phone manners. It was important. Yeah, some of that stuff needs to come back. ML Zambrana says we had a cafetorium, break dancing during lunch. That's pretty cool. Hurry up and eat to go smoke, says Leo. Landlines are available at schools. Exactly. I think it's a good thing. I think we bring back the payphones. The landline's being called a family phone now. So instead of everybody having their own individual phones, you could call into the family phone. They're being remarketed. I think it's a good idea. I might bring one back into my house. I don't know. I did for a while have one. It costs, like I said, next to nothing because it's an internet-based phone. Could be a good thing. Todd, thank you for the stars over on Facebook. My husband hires 20-year-olds that literally don't know how to talk to someone face to face. It's pathetic. I did a video where I talked about if each generation, I was reacting to a really funny video about each generation being a board game. And the kid nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. It said the boomers, stereotypically anyway, are Monopoly. They own all the property. They own all the money. And if we don't like it, we can go directly to jail because they earned it. It's theirs. They landed on the spots. They got it. They are Monopoly. I thought that was right on. Gen Z, he nailed as Pictionary. And at first I was like, why is Gen Z Pictionary? And he said because they will do basically anything just so long as they don't have to talk to you. And if you know the rules in Pictionary, it's drawing a picture to try to get the point across. You're not allowed to talk. So I thought that was straight on. Gen X, for us, shall we play a game? The game he chose for us, did anybody see it? Who saw it? Linda, didn't know you posted. Didn't I post a video about kids having telephoneobia? Yes, I did. Which is the thing. They are afraid of the phone. Ironically, kids that grew up with smartphones always in their hands are afraid of using one. At least for its God-intended purposes of talking. Yeah, I saw somebody had it. The game he picked for us was Cards Against Humanity. Which, okay, I could see it. Some of those cards in Cards Against Humanity are savage. I came back with Perfection. Yes, Deborah, exactly. And I liked Perfection because it's anxiety in a box. And we cause other people to have anxiety. I will say I pulled away from Perfection because at its core, Perfection is about putting everything in the right place at the right time. And that has not been our experience at all. Gen X is more everything not going in the right place. We're Perfection after it blows up. When pieces are flying in every direction. That's Gen X. And then we catch those pieces in midair and deal with it however it comes. Some people said the game of life. I like that one. Others said Operation because, shocking yourself for fun. Nothing more Gen X than that. Where's the sarcasm in that game? Yeah, that's the piece that I was missing. But his point was with Cards Against Humanity, it was a game that we could play while being snarky and just hanging back. It wasn't all absorbing. I don't know. Wirehead says Trivial Pursuit. I could see that. I would set it up but turn out in the timer. We are the troubleshooters. Mousetrap or trouble because just when you think you're making progress. How about sorry? Sorry would work if the idea of just taking somebody who's bothering us, somebody who's in our way, somebody who's wronged us somehow, and just smacking them back to the beginning with a very sarcastic sorry, not sorry. That kind of works for me. Licking the top of a 9-volt battery could be a Gen X game. Got a landline for my kids and they kept my light up phone from the 80s. That's cool. Candyland, Shoots and Ladders. Those are always easy. Ants in the Pants. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Todd, there you go. Sorry is very sarcastic. Yeah, I think that's it. Tammy coming up with Jarts. That works. Not exactly a board game, but that works as well. Stratego with my kids. I loved Stratego as a kid. What amazes me is how many people played Stratego, because it's not a game that I thought was very popular. I thought Risk and Monopoly and Life were really much better known games. But I'll talk about games I played as a kid, and Stratego almost always comes up, and I loved that game. Trouble with the Pop-O-Matic bubble was the best, Megan. I loved the Pop-O-Matic button. Sorry works for Canadians. It does, Stephanie. Wirehead, you Canadians are great, but you wouldn't say sorry. You'd say sorry. Sorry. It's my Canadian accent. About. Was it really bad? Probably really bad. What else we got? The game is hide and seek, guerrilla tactics at its finest. I liked hide and seek as a kid. I liked any game that we could play late into the night. Like, everybody talks about playing as kids outside during the day, right? We were allowed to be outside all day, especially in the summer, especially on the weekends, until the streetlights came on. And as soon as the streetlights came on, we had to be home. And that's kind of true. But there were those weekends at to the tail end of summer, maybe early fall when it was getting a little cooler out, that my parents allowed us to bend that rule. We had to be home base when the street lights came on, but not necessarily inside the house. What's going on, Matthew Gordon? Nice to see you, Mr. Gordon. Isn't Mrs. Gordon with you? I hope. So we had to come home when the street lights came on. Our parents wanted to know we were nearby. But dude, that was my favorite. When it was 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night, and we were still allowed to be outside 11, 12, playing flashlight tag in the dark, playing hide and seek in the dark, playing manhunt in the dark, midnight, ghost in the graveyard, sometimes in graveyards. That was my favorite. Those are some of my favorite memories. Playing water balloon fights during the day, slip and sliding during the day, playing all those games during the day. Great fun, great memories, riding my bike. It was awesome. But something about after dark was just super, super cool for me. And everybody had to ask special permission. And just that feeling one by one, as your friends came, and you're like, just ask your parents if we can stay out. Tell them my parents are home and we don't have school tomorrow, and we're all cool and we're all gonna be okay. Just ask. And so your friends would go ask. Back in that era that we lived in, back when we had to ask for permission for things, which is a feeling we don't much feel at this point in our life. Yes, Ronaldo, catching fireflies, lightning bugs. That was a cool feeling. And then being granted that permission. So then the kids came, the Parkers next door came home and said, yes, with those three magic words, we can play. The Wagners came over, and said, we can play. The Krasukis from down the street came up and said, we can play. The Perennis, well, the Perennis got no, but their parents, maybe were a little overprotective, and there was that family. I'm not necessarily saying it was the Perennis, I'm using them as an example, but there was always that family, the kid that's like, my parents said I can't play, and they had to leave and walk away while the rest of us were having fun. That was awesome. That was those. Thinking back to that minute brings a smile on my face. It's a good feeling. And yes, I see you. Ever have keg parties in the woods? That came soon thereafter. But this is that magic moment in time where we were still young enough, still innocent enough that we weren't doing anything wrong. We were being good kids, and it was right on the cusp, old enough to be given that little bit of freedom, which we had a lot of freedom, but this was a special at night freedom, but not old enough to abuse it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the other stuff all came soon thereafter. The drinking in the woods, drinking in the fields, drinking by the lake, drinking in the basement, putting water in my dad's liquor and watering it down, somehow thinking I wouldn't get caught. All that stuff. Atari brought me inside. Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, though, even when my Atari was brand new, if it was building forts in the woods with my friends or playing Pitfall on the Atari, Forts with my friends still called me out. The Atari graphics weren't that great. Joan says, can Danny come out to play? That I can report to you with a 13-year-old daughter still happens. Kids in the neighborhood come to my house, ring the doorbell, and say, can Cleo come out and play? And that makes me happy. I like that they're doing that. She's not getting a text on her phone saying, come outside. She is, thank you, Sheila, for the gift. I've never seen that before. They're still ringing the doorbell, and I love that. Never drank in my teens. After 21 is another matter. I drank in my teens. Talking about it all, Danielle. 4762 got a flash notification on YouTube. Doing great, guys. Again, if you want to help support the page, $2 at a time is the way we do it. You can also hit my merch shop. I'm about to post a whole bunch of Christmas stuff. If you're a fan of the Bumble, the Island of Misfit Toys, if I can get away with changing some Charlie Brown stuff a little bit, there may be a Charlie Brown Christmas tree t-shirt coming on the horizon. So keep an eye out for all that stuff. Today, I never see kids on bikes anymore, running around, playing in the park. I can only tell you in our neighborhood, I've got a 13-year-old, and I am so happy that they do. My daughter logs a lot of miles on her bike, as far as we'll let her go. And sometimes that's the struggle. As parents who have CNN, Amber Alerts, we live in a world where we know the dangers in the world that existed when we were kids. Make no mistake about it. We had many more serial killers out there then than we do now. Our parents we didn't know what was out there waiting for us in the world. Today we do. So if we helicopter at parents, as parents, it's because we know what's out there. But we're trying to balance it and let her go. Let her go play. Let her go experience things. Let her go exploring. That magic word, exploring, where we would just get on our bikes and go left and then right and then left and then right. And no plan. I remember getting on my bike and really not knowing where I was going. I just wanted to end up somewhere I'd never been. David, for me and for others, thank you for what you do, John. David, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys make everything I do possible. Thank you so much. Very on the horizon, I will be flying down to Orlando for Fanboy Expo, and I'm going to put up a ton of content. Stay tuned. Lee Majors, Lindsay Wagner, $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, Gene Simmons, a whole bunch of people that I'm hoping to be able to share some amazing live streams and content with. So when people are like, this isn't about making me, it helps me take care of all that stuff. So I'll be flying down and staying in Orlando over that weekend and bring you all that stuff. I got nailed at a Jungle Juice party in the military. Dude, Cajun Ness. Dude, you don't, that's why I say $2 at a time, but thank you. Appreciate you. Love you, man. That's the best. Dude, thank you so much. Wait a while. It's too early for Christmas. I get it, but sometimes people just want to plan. And then they're going to be able to get it and have it come in time. But it's not coming right away. Am I near goal? I'm very near goal. I think, what did they say? It was 117. I think we'll get there. Again, $2 at a time. We should be just fine. I really appreciate that so much. And what I do because it makes me happy, and I've been blessed that what I have, I'm very blessed that what I do that makes me happy is now what I do for a living. I never saw this coming. It is such a testament to our lives are not near over yet. Yeah, I'm 55 years old, but I'm not done by any stretch of the imagination. We used to do screen scratching. I don't know what that is. Take a stick pin and bend it, attach a thread to it, damp cloth. I've never heard of that. It makes a scary noise. Todd, that's new to me. I'm a Zennial, but we have older siblings. Yeah, I get that a lot. A lot of millennials whose older siblings were Gen X, they're Gen X by proxy. You guys are basically Gen X because, the siblings basically bring you in. Your membership fee has been covered by them. Dude, I don't know what that... YouTube's got some pretty cool gifts. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that so much. What's going on, Tony Randall? Hey, Joan. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And that's the point, Zabrana. I never want anybody to take on more of an expense on this page than they can handle. Somebody sent me an email the other day. I appreciate that, Danielle. And they said basically they don't go out drinking anymore. They don't really like to go out to the movies. They don't do much. And they just wanted to let me know when they donate to the page to please Thank you, Sheila. To please not feel guilty about it, because they used to spend a lot more on Canadian whiskey than they spend on me. That going out to the movies cost them the same equivalent, and they get more joy throughout the week on my videos than they ever did that. So I appreciate it. Do y'all like Twilight? If you're talking about the vampire series Twilight, personally never saw it. My kids never got into it. But if I'm being honest, and I have an itch to watch some vampire stuff, it's probably going to be, I don't know, Lost Boys. More Lost Boys than Twilight. Gotta say, I'm a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. Maybe I should give Twilight a chance. I just never really saw it. But yeah, I like the whole vampire thing. I just watched the older ones. What was it? Once Bitten? That was always pretty cool. Nicole, the Epa Lady never came in. The woman who was supposed to send me the Epa Lady, I guess, had a hard time getting it sent out internationally. I didn't realize she was over in Great Britain when I purchased it. So she refunded my $70. And to be honest, for those that don't know, the running joke was I was going to see what the deal was with an Epa Lady. So I ordered one on eBay. And everybody just, the horror stories, not good. And some people private messaged me saying that the series, for me, Cindy, the movie was okay, but the series was really cool. I'm a comic book junkie, and it was like a comic book to me. But yeah, the Epa Lady thing, people said, especially if you like man's long leg hair, that it will rip me to shreds. So didn't come in, and I'd be lying if I said I was disappointed. I don't think I'm ordering another one. I think I'm going to let that thread die down as a bad idea that didn't pan out, and maybe it's a good thing that it didn't pan out. My mom tried the Epa Lady and drew blood. Dude, that's what I was being told. You women, the Epa Ladies, you guys gave a whole new like meaning to the thought process of beauty is torture or beauty is pain. It is a bad idea. You dodged that bullet. Yeah, I think it could have ended really badly. It might have made for some good content, but lots of things make for good content. It doesn't mean that I should do it. So I think that's the end of that one. Epa Lady on a guy is an easy comparison. See the chest waxing scene. Dude, that's what I would think, Wirehead, but you haven't done it. They say it's worse because the chest waxing thing is like everything quickly coming out. Yeah, sir, it doesn't twist it out. The Epa Lady like tangles the hair into these little coils and then rips them out kind of one at a time, but so quickly it's like one at a time times 100. I've heard it described very badly. I'm not doing it. Yes, Once Bitten was Jim Carrey. That's exactly the one I'm thinking of. I love that. Don't forget Marge in Palmolive. It was actually Madge in Palmolive, Richard, but I remember Madge. Is it really that? Yes, you're soaking in it. And she'd have her hand in the green Palmolive dish soap. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Thea? Sounds like my mom. Cicely says, what did I come into, John? Waxing your chest? Cicely, as a gag, as a bit, as a reel, I had ordered an Epa Lady, the original 80s version of the Epa Lady. Paul, welcome to the Gen X Avengers. And I was going to try it for the first time online. But as it turned out, it never got delivered. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not going to order another one. Ancient Chinese secret, huh? Being native, never had to shave. Well, I'm Greek. And although I'm not like Greek version of like Greek, it's still enough that I think it would hurt. Joyce Freeman, hello. Good to see you, honey. Silver Bullet is a great werewolf movie. Vampire movie chat to Epa Lady. We go all over the page, Megan. Kat, how are you? Good to see you made it in. Core coming in just to say hi. Good to see you. Ripping out chest hair. Yikes. Yeah, no. Blockbuster Experience in the house over there. Good to see you. Yeah, looking up over at Facebook. If you guys see that, Blockbuster Experience will be with me next week at the Orlando Fanboy Expo. So if you miss Blockbuster video, there's still one. Bend, Oregon is the last Blockbuster, and the Blockbuster Experience takes that experience and shares it with us on the road. I've been invited, and I can't wait to walk through their mobile Blockbuster experience. Trevin, thank you. My level of sarcasm has got to the point that I don't even know if I'm kidding or not. So I'll be walking through there, making some content. Special guest over there. How you doing, Tina? Good to see you. From the movie Rad. I'm hoping I get to meet and make some content with him as well. Thomas, I will be in Buffalo that first weekend in October. Join us on the pub crawl, working with Duff's Original Wings to put together a meet and greet, and we'll have the world's largest Gen X tailgate at the Bills game on Sunday. I was a manager at Blockbuster for 4 years, best job ever. I always thought that would be an amazing job. Now, monetarily and the fun, I had the second best job in the world. I was a bartender. And as a 20-something-year-old kid, being able to party and make money at the same time was pretty cool. But Blockbuster working there definitely would have been a close second. I do have my Blockbuster video card right here. Mailed to me from the last Blockbuster on Earth. Bend, Oregon. How about that? So pretty cool. Looking forward to that a lot. Hey, Tammy, coming in from Alberta, Canada. Paul, love your content, John. Keep it up. Thank you for my $2. I appreciate that. Exactly what we're looking for. Then you got the special yellow vest. Guys, absolutely give the Blockbuster experience over on the Facebook side. I am pinning the comment. Go ahead and give them a like, give them a follow. Only because so many of us have such fond memories. I mean, Friday nights, if I wasn't bartending, yeah, I always talk about the dichotomy of Generation X. The fact that we are so many different things at the same time. Nobody ever saw us when we were growing up, and yet everybody's eyes were on us. We had all consequence and no consequence. We had no technology, and yet we grew into all technology. The other part of it is we were that amazing group of kids that loved going out. A lot of us, Friday night, Tuesday night, Monday night. But as much as we liked going out and the big partying, we were just as likely to say, hey, let's go grab 2 movies. Let's have a horror movie night. Let's have a John Candy night. Let's rent some Steve Martin movies. Let's rent just the worst B movies known to mankind. We'd go to Blockbuster and you'd walk the stacks back and forth. And if, like me, on Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo, you knew so many people, you'd run into people you knew there and they'd recommend you seeing something. It taught us so much. I'm going to make a video, 10 things I learned at Blockbuster Video. And one is you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit, because I might have gone in for Raiders of the Lost Ark and I might have left with Leprechaun or, who knows what. But it's, we had to be able to do that. We got what we got. What we wanted wasn't always there. And I think there's a lot of lessons like that. Of course, we learned to be kind. Right? Because if you weren't kind at Blockbuster, there was a consequence. We learned not to be late, because if we were late, there was a consequence. I just love everything about Blockbuster. I get that streaming is awesome and convenient, and I do it all the time, and I'm happy for it, and I'm glad for it. But it was different, and sometimes different is good. Let's rent cannibal movies. Okay, Joan. Be kind and rewind. Exactly, Kat. Back when there was only 3. Yeah, I think that's what we could rent. I think we were allowed 3 movies at a time. We rented Sega games and movies. Yeah, I forgot you could rent movies after a while as well. But how many times did you tell a boyfriend or the girlfriend or, early on you order the pizza, you go get the beer, I'll go pick up the movies. And they told you, okay, get this. And if that's not there, get this. And if that's not there, get this. And if all else fails, let's just rent Planes, Trains, and Automobiles again. Just bring home the Goonies. That's all right. We'll watch that for the 4th time. It didn't matter. This is the Gen X version, so we have them. I love it. I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited. When you guys messaged me, very excited. Goonies Never Say Die. Agreed. Friday nights at Blockbuster meant Revenge of the Nerds and Grease every weekend, says Claudia. Time with family and friends. Exactly. And sometimes renting the movie that we've seen a million times meant that we didn't have to really focus on the movie, right? So why did I rent Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Everything, because I didn't have to really watch it for every word. Why did I rent Ferris Bueller so many times? So number one, we could drink and say the lines as fast as they'd come out of the television set, but also because that allowed us to talk over the movie, to still have it on in the background. Hey, Kiwi. But it became the world's best background noise. Blockbuster rented out VCRs. I remember that as well. The Dahunga weighed 15-pound VCR. And my parents would let us rent a VCR for the weekend, and then we'd get a bunch of movies. I remember renting the VCR and the movie Superman. That was the first movie I think I rented from a video store. Cannot for the life of me remember the vampire movie with the guy named Kyle and the blonde chick let him suck the blood out of her arm to keep him alive. Hate to sound mean, but it had that. Was that After Dark? After Dark was a great vampire movie if y'all haven't seen it. The actor in After Dark, there was the blonde chick that was up. It could be After Dark you're thinking of. The actual guy, Kyle, if that was his name, he follows me over on Instagram, and I thought that's pretty cool. First time I rented a VCR was a Betamax machine in Pink Floyd's The Wall. My dad owned a video store in Jackson Heights, New York in the 80s. Asking the employees to go through the Dropbox, see if anybody turned in a new movie. Oh, absolutely. Now that, Leslie, was a pro move. Jennifer says, yes, that's what it was. After Dark. Thank you. Yeah, great scene where they're driving the car at the end and they've got it all darked out. And then the bullet holes start bringing light in. And it's not the bullets that kill the vampires. It's the rays of sunlight coming through. That was a good movie. Near Dark. Thank you. Even better. Travin corrected me. It wasn't After Dark. It was Near Dark. Who's the actor in that? Somebody tell me the name. It's driving me nuts. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Near Dark. Very good movie. Trying to see if anybody's got the name. Lance Erickson. Yes, Lance Erickson was in it. Bill Paxton. I'm trying to think of the good guy, though. The guy that becomes a vampire. And then at the very end, hey, Tony Vasquez, he gets a blood transfusion and becomes an unvampire. God, it's been years since I've seen that movie. And not even just years. I'm talking decades. Bill Paxton, I think he was in it as well. Cast of Aliens. Gosh, chats are going fast now. All I keep thinking for the actor's name is Adrian Zmed, and it wasn't him. Adrian Zmed was from Bachelor Party, and Adrian Pazdar. That's his name. Oh, and there it is. ML just brought it to me. Adrian Pazdar. So Adrian actually follows me on Instagram. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, Near Dark is the movie. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, Adrian Pazdar follows me on Instagram. He was also in Top Gun. A very small part. Great actor. Lots of fun. Yes, Dorian, that's exactly who I was thinking of. Maybe run into him at one of these Comic-Cons, pop culture conventions. Grease 2. I don't know, but I don't know what question you're answering. I hope it's not good movies. I know a lot of people have a soft spot in their heart for Grease 2. I pray it's an ironic kind of love. I love Grease 1 a lot. Grease 2, I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys? Cool Rider, Michelle Pfeiffer, I don't know. Seen it a couple times. Yeah, should have been called Grease Sorta. Grease 2 was awful. The movie Meridian, I'm glad I'm not the only one who remember Near Dark. I got to watch it. I probably will be watching it tonight. Hated Grease 2. Hate's a strong word. It has its place. But Grease 1, if it's on, and I'm not watching anything. Yes, Adrian Zmed was in Grease 2. If I'm not watching anything and Grease comes on, I'll probably get stuck watching it again. It just pulls me in. Grease 2? Meh, probably not. Never saw Grease 2. You have to see it. Whether you like it or not, it's up for discussion. But you have to see it. She hates Cool Rider. He's a cool rider. It makes me wonder if they're the same people who wrote the music, because the songs in Grease 2 are not up to the songs in Grease 1. Grease had a cult following. Grease was one of the first albums I remember having. I didn't buy it. My older brother's 4 years older than me. Grease came out, what, 80, 79, 80? When did Grease come out? Trying to get my computer up and running. You guys will probably get it before I do. You guys let me know. But I was little. I was really young when Grease came out. 78? Okay, so I was 7 or 8 years old, maybe younger. My older brother liked the music, and he bought the album. And I remember, brothers, we would fight. I scratched his album. 78. So I was 8. I scratched that album, and he was so pissed at me. And I got so mad at him being so mad at me that the other album that he had bought was Saturday Night Fever, and then I intentionally scratched that. And then he intentionally beat the shit out of me. Brothers, good times. Here's another one, 3 O'Clock High. Good movie. Best sequel list, Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon, there's a lot of them. Lethal Weapon, great sequels. Back to the Future, don't even think of it as a sequel. I think of it as one movie in 3 parts. Star Wars, very much the same way. I liked Empire Strikes Back more than I liked Star Wars. I'm told the Godfather movies do pretty well. I've never seen any of them. The problem with sequels is the lack of a stable storyline. That was the problem with Beetlejuice 2. My brother's Ocean used my Elvis Presley collection as shot puts. Have never seen the Godfather movies. Yeah, no, I've never seen them. I don't know why. Raiders of the Lost Ark, another long movie with many different parts. I don't think of it as sequels necessarily. What's going on? Hyde Park Ninjas in the house over on YouTube. That's my buddy Mike. Mike's going to be joining me in Buffalo. Mike just confirmed we got those tickets, so we'll be at the game working on making it a huge tailgating party. So we were trying to put together a meet and greet. There's a couple different things that we're working towards. But even if you can't make the Sunday night game in Buffalo and you're going to be near Orchard Park, come by, because we're trying to put together a massive Gen X tailgate. So if you're going to be in Buffalo and you want to be part of that experience, that's one way to do it. Pub crawl is going to be another, and we may have a chicken wing challenge taste test contest going on as well. I've got to see the Godfather movies. But it's one of those things, I haven't done it up till now. I almost feel like I'll probably watch them. Latest Bill and Ted wasn't that good. Too much time in between them. And yet, I think Maverick was good. I think they stayed true to the original. Blockbuster Experience says, I wanted to be the cool rider. Goodfella movie there was movies. I mean, I remember Goodfellas was one movie. Was there more than one movie? Jurassic Park, I enjoy. I enjoy each installment. That's the latest one. The dinosaur looked kind of like a cross between a T-Rex and the alien from Aliens, but still enjoyed it. I'm in the minority. I didn't like the Godfather movies. Bill and Ted 3 was bad. Michelle Pfeiffer was a brat in Grease 2. Maverick was good. I nabbed the first 3 Indiana Jones movies with a bonus disc for $10. Electric Dreams may have been cheesy. Oh, there was a lot of cheesy, David, that was still good. Help me out here. Breakin' was cheesy, still good. Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo, cheesy, still good. What was the one with Bruce Leroy? The Golden Child. With the glow and Vanity. Was it Vanity that was in that movie? That was cheesy, but it was good. Mannequin, cheesy, but good. 2027 Spaceballs 2. Yeah, not sure about that. Last Dragon. Thank you, Kevin. That's the one I was thinking of. Cheesy, but good. Break into Electric Boogaloo with Ozone. Yes. I had a crush on the girl in that movie. Short Circuit, UHF, Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Return of the Dead. What did I rethink of the remake of Valley Girl? Christine, don't hate me. I didn't see it. I didn't even actually see all of Valley Girl. I think that was kind of a chick flick, or at least that was my understanding at the time. So I didn't really see it. I've seen pieces of it. And of course, we all had to live with the Valley Girl talk that came out of that, but never actually saw the movie. Are you still live streaming with Jen? And so Three View Mirror is back the third week in October. I'm traveling to Buffalo the first weekend, so we can't do it. Chris is traveling the second week, so we can't do it. Shell is traveling as well. So it's going to be back October 20th. It's that Monday. We're going to be doing it on Monday nights. I know we're coming up against Monday Night Football, but we really had a hard time finding a spot. You'll be able to watch as part of our live studio audience every Monday night at 8 p.m. And then it'll be up on a replay if you want to watch the replay. But we've just confirmed, I could look up the date, but it is the third Monday in October. The Three View Mirror is back. I'm excited about that. Smokey and the Bandit was good. It was. I also liked the other Burt Reynolds, Cannonball Run. Cannonball Run had at least two good movies that I really liked. Eddie Murphy was in The Golden Child. Yes. That's where I got that confused. Big Trouble in Little China. Good. John, you had a lot of crushes growing up. We all did, though. It's like whoever that girl was in that movie instantly had it. T asks, does your daughter love all the 80s nostalgia? She does. She actually, especially my 13-year-old, gets it. She enjoys it. She thinks it's funny. And we just have fun with it. We're doing a video with her and a couple of her friends where I'm going to start with my idea of slang, and then they'll tell us the contemporary version of it, and they're having fun with it. I also want to take all the kids in the neighborhood and, in my mind, the Mediate music video of not In Sync, In Excess, where they go through the Mediate, and it's just black and white, and it keeps moving the cards. You know the one I'm talking about? Try not to hate, love your mate. I want to redo that, but I want to put kids in all the different parts with the cards and introduce them to that video, and then do a line of videos where I've got the kids playing the parts from our iconic music videos. A remake of Thriller, a remake of Aha, Take on Me. I think it makes for a cool music video series. I'll probably get in trouble with the copyright on it, but I'm going to try it. Judgment Night, Beth, loved it. I like anything. That was an awesome movie. She has seen Breakfast Club, Thea. Loves it. Need You Tonight was another one. This was at the back end of Mediate. So Mediate was the song, and then the extended version played that bit, but it never was released on its own as a single. Have you read Real Player One book? Depends on all sorts of 80s trivia. Real Player One. Oh, yeah, I have. I thought you were asking about Real Player. Do you remember the Real Player? Like when video first came to computers, we had to watch on the Real Player app, for lack of a better term. If you had a Mac, it was the Apple had their version. I don't remember what it was called. What the hell was it called on Apple? Two different versions of the same thing. Apple came up with their version. Real Player was the version on it, and both of them just buffered forever. You wanted to watch something. Okay, I'm going to watch this at 8 o'clock tonight. I will go to school in the morning, but before I leave for school, I'll load up Real Player. I remember QuickTime. Thank you. Exactly. That was it. QuickTime and Real Player. The original Big Brother. If you wanted to catch Big Brother live streams, were on Real Player. And yeah, it would buffer like crazy. Kids have it too easy right now. QuickTime was the Mac version, Steve. We still have QuickTime, funny enough. Remember LA Law, the ending? I don't know if I ever saw the ending, Warren. I'll have to look that up. I did just do a video, speaking of old television shows. It's a 2-minute long video, so I'm asking a lot of you guys I know. Atreyu? I did a video on, I've got a thing where 10 things we learned about life, we learned from, and then I'm picking different Gen X era television shows. This week's show is Miami Vice. So I do a video where I talk about 10 things we learned about life as young Gen Xers watching Miami Vice. And it's just so cool that the shows we loved were so varied and different, that I can pull from different genres. And I think that's fun. So make sure you check out that video, please, and share it if you can. Number one being that, socks. No, bare ankles were the move. Yes, V was another great one I just did beforehand, Tony. V was amazing. Porky's, I went to see far younger than I ever should have. Anyway But Loose, Right Turn, Clyde. Good memories. All right, guys, we're at 55 minutes and counting. So I'm going to just run down some housekeeping. For those that have not yet donated but feel like they might want to on YouTube, we are $3, $2.38 away, $2.38 away from goal. The other, at this point, it would be nice to hit it because I don't know what it gets me, but it seems to make the algorithm like me. The other thing is September 26th, 27th, and 28th. I will be in Orlando, Florida. I will be going to the Fanboy Expo. If you guys are near Orlando, feel like meeting, I will post where I am and what I'm doing, what panels I'm sitting in on. There we go. Thank you so much, Stacy. I appreciate you. 38 cents away. Come and see me. We'll take a selfie. We'll talk about things in the 80s. I love meeting you guys. Hey, Life, I didn't even see you. Sorry you're late, but you are here. That's what counts. The week after, I'll be upstate New York, Western New York, and Buffalo, New York. We will be doing pub crawls. We'll be doing wing tasting, and we will be doing the world's largest Gen X tailgating party. So come see me if you're going to be in Buffalo. Always, you can find out where I am, where I'm going next, and what I'm going to be doing by going to genxjono.com. Heat of the Night, I loved it, but I loved anything with Carol O'Connor. So thank you for getting me over goal. I appreciate you. Yeah, I loved Carol O'Connor. genxjono.com is the go-to for all things. Let you know where I'm going to be. You can subscribe to my calendar, which will let you know when I put new things on it. If you guys know that there's this amazing convention, Blockbuster Experience, you let me know. If you know that there's something big going on somewhere that I should be a part of, either as a guest or just coming in under press passes. I'd love to start going to more of these conventions as a guest. But reach out to me, let me know, reach out to them. A lot of them will say, who do you guys want to come see? Let them know. Throw them a link. I'd love to get to more and more of these as time goes on because I love meeting more and more of you guys. What else have we got? That's it right now. Tuesday night, if you guys are bored, 7 p.m. Eastern time, I will be doing Gen X era trivia right here. I actually got passes to the New York Comic Con. It's just not going to work out time-wise. And there just weren't that many nostalgic guests that fit our genre to have me switch plans around. Maybe next year. I'd love to do San Diego Comic Con, maybe, but we'll see. Rhode Island in November. I don't know if I can make the turnaround, but listen, Blockbuster, honestly, if you have any ins with any of these, it's gotten to the point, our reach is ridiculous. We're hitting between 30 million on the low end and 50 million on the high end views every single month with you guys sharing stuff. It's become, yes, 2 million followers, but the followers are the least of it. The things you guys are doing to help get my videos out, sharing them with your friends, has been unbelievable. Thank you so much, Tina and Mary. Appreciate you both. Way over goal now. Philly Fan Expo is in May. Yeah, Blockbuster, honestly, last month was a huge month. Across all platforms, I hit 60 million views. 40 million of those, 42 million on Facebook, which is my big one. 10 million and 10 million each on YouTube and Instagram. And it's a crapshoot for TikTok. But those other three, it's crazy. Howling Gamer did the show and got his son involved, who died during its run, if memory serves. I didn't know that. Would I consider coming to Ottawa, Ontario? Dude, I'll go I've got no preconceived notions. If it's relevant to the era we grew up in, if they're bringing in other guests that would excite all of us, so that as I share stuff, it brings value to the page, to the community. They're paying to fly me out to Arkansas for Big River Fan. I want as many of you there as possible. That's going to be awesome. That's the Big River Fan Con in just outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. We're gonna have me and John, who played the janitor in the Breakfast Club, who played Carl, doing media together. Hey Dan Rouser, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for all the videos you share with me, man. Helps get my brain going so I know what to create on my own. Come to California again. Find someone that says, yeah, we'd like to have him as a guest. I'll come out. I'd love to do more panels. I'd love to do more moderating on panels. It's a lot of fun. Those new 80s reels are awesome. I sent you a few. Yeah, they get pegged. I enjoy watching them. AI gets your page into a difficult place. Doing well, Joanne. AI is funky. So I enjoy watching them. I love that you guys send me those videos. I don't play in that realm because then the algorithm wonders if it's live or if it's Memorex, to coin a phrase that only we would remember. Carl is my fave. Yeah, he's also Greek, same initials. So it should be fun. Who is this handsome fella I see? Sending love back. Improv guy. Actually was a theater geek. Improv doesn't scare me. All right, guys. So that's it. That's the show. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's like enjoy every other week. Check out genxjono.com. Check out genxjono.dashery.com if you like the shirts that I wear, the mugs that I drink out of, and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I will see some of you Tuesday night for Gen X Era Trivia, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel. And then back here again next Sunday night for the wonderful world of Generation X. Take care. Guys, the internet's become a mean place. It's always been a little mean. It's kind of scary now. Take care of yourself. Spread light. Spread good. Spread positivity. Let's have Gen X show people the way out of this mess. Because I think if any generation stands a chance in hell of making things better on all sides, it's us. So stay rad. I love you guys. Talk to you again soon. Peace out. See you soon, Blockbuster.